Good morning, Pimpin. Pimpin, I'm transferring the host to you.
Oh, thank you. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Let's wait for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, let's start. I think maybe there are some conflict meetings for many people. Okay, firstly, we in the last meeting we discussed that we want to deprecate the current Azure OS library, and okay, so I guess we'll be 10 minutes late. Uh, so this is the issue. And so I did some investigation last week, and so basically currently we are using the Go Autorest library. And for this library, the Azure Auth module is announced as deprecated. Let's see, like for this one. Yeah, it's already deprecated. And another one, the Azure Auth is also deprecated. But for the auto rest module, it's not deprecated yet, actually. So basically, currently we have the direct dependency. Currently we have the direct dependency on the auto rest, but not on the idle and auth. So actually, I have a PR to remove our direct dependency on the auto rest ADAL module because we have some like unused code. So once I remove that, we only have the indirect dependency on the deprecated library. And also I found that cosine also has the same dependency on these two libraries. So even we update our like the ORAS of provider logic and the AKV provider logic, so we still keep the same dependency, the indirect dependency, and until a cosine resolves the same issue. So Henry, so I'm thinking maybe we can, because there is no like vulnerability yet in from these two deprecated module. So I'm thinking maybe we can like do the update in the next release, because I estimated that we might need less than 1 week to making the code change and another week for the like validation, because we need to validate a lot of cases like Kubernetes and CLI case.
Yeah, thanks for the summary, Binbin. Yeah, I wanted to check the priority with Louise and E. We think it's okay to move this out to 1.4 because there's currently no reported vulnerability and the package is also used by cosine. So if this does become vulnerable, we should be able to bump up the cosine version, and once we ship 1.3, we'll be actively migrating this library to the latest version. But I think the timing is a bit tight for 1.3.
I would be okay hunting. When are we looking at, when's the 1.4 release?
Well, yeah, so I think it will be moved to 1.4 release, and also if we have time today, we will clean up the milestone 1.3 and check the 1.4 release milestone.
Yeah,
No,
if we want to follow a regular release cadence, we think 1.4 would be end of November, just before Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think now that you've done the investigation, I think it's, if there's no non-vulnerability so far, I'm okay. But yeah, let's try to, yeah, I'm fine punting to 1.4.
Okay.
Yeah, one question for the reflect, how what is the effort we need for doing this?
So basically, because we need to update two code paths. One is for the Azure Auth provider, and another is for the AKV. So I think the code change is not much, but we need to make sure like all the scenarios, like for the workload identity, managed identity, CI case, all work as expected. So it might take, so for the coding and the testing, it might take like 1 to 2 weeks.
Yeah, and also another consideration is for a dev, like Akash is very familiar with this code path. For a dev that's not familiar with the authentication code path, they require extra ramp up time. So the code change would be like at least 1 to 2 weeks, and the validation would be another 1 to 2 weeks. Which is why we don't feel comfortable taking it in the 1.3 release.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, Binbin, let's move it to 1.4.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, next one, open SSF best practice batch. So I think this is a follow-up on donation to the CNCF. So maybe this is a recommendation to
Yeah.
yeah.
So there's a few sections in the assessment, and I'm just ticking some boxes. Like there's a section for basic project web content, license, documentation, change control, quality, and reporting, security. So I'm up to the last section for static code analysis. So Binbin, do you know if we use static code analysis or dynamic code analysis? So if you scroll down to all the way to the end,
Oh, I see.
yeah, right there.
Static code analysis. Oh, I don't think we have a dynamic code analysis, but for static code analysis, I need to check it out.
Okay.
Which
Yeah, sure.
one?
So
Yeah.
yeah, once you confirm, so I will just put question mark next to these sections. And once you confirm, we can always update it. And maybe today or tomorrow, I can add the badge to the README of the Ratify repository. The badge would just say, oh, open SSF practice in progress. And then once we submit it, the badge will get updated. So I
Okay.
think we can address it this week.
Cool. So that's the one remaining track, the static
Yeah,
code
the
analysis.
good thing is with this self-assessment, like a lot of the description is optional. So you like when they ask things like, so there are some interesting questions that we should ask ourselves. One of the security ones is for this type of software, the kind of project we're working on today, what is a common vulnerability and how do we mitigate it? Or do we have a plan to mitigate it? So I think the question, we need to discuss some of the item, but for the unknown ones, if we just put question mark, it'll take some score off the scorecard, but we can still submit the evaluation and we still get a score and we can add that badge into the README.
Okay, gotcha. So, because I haven't read the full list. I just wonder if we if we pass all the criteria and we submit our application, then it will be approved by someone from the organization, or it's just like auto approved.
Yeah, there's no approval. It's
Okay.
from my investigation is self-serve. I don't know if the response that we put is visible to public. But for now, because a lot of them are optional, I'm just going to answer to my best knowledge and submit this application. So we get the project link to add it as the scorecard badge.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. Yeah, thank you. Next one, merge proposal for error message improvement. Yeah, so I think I already approved this PR, and you mentioned Toddy also have the approval. So I wonder if we can like merge now.
Yes, actually, Toddy approved this PR, but I also did updates based on the offline discussion with him, and also so that's you cannot see from the approval, but you can check the comments that Toddy approved this PR, and he has left one comment for creating a new issue to tracking the server errors, and I created that error accordingly. So
Okay.
yeah.
So is it okay to enable the auto merge? Do you have any new updates on the PR?
No,
Okay.
I think yeah, I think all the comments were addressed.
Cool, thank you. Okay. And also for this PR, I have a PR to implement the proposal. So I made some examples to like have a just quick demo. So like for example, if our nested, so this PI is trying to like reflect our like format of the nested arrows. So like let's take this example. Like if we have a 2-level arrow, like this is the top level arrow, and there is a original arrow, and the original arrow has another arrow, like this is might be the root cause, like some 4.1 exception from like remote client or remote service. Then from the proposal, our like once we print this error, the error message would look like error code and error description and error reason and remediation. So the error code is the error code, like for example, the top error code. And also it will be the root error of the error code of the root error. So in this case, if we print out the error code of this overall error, the error code will be the root error code, not the top error code. And the error description will be like a combination of all the details from like errors from of all levels. So the error description would be like top error detail plus root error detail. And the error reason is the original error or the detail of the root error. So in this case, the error reason would be the like HTTP request failed 4.1, and the remediation is the root error remediation. So it will be the root error remediation. So basically, the error string would be root error code top plus top error detail, root error detail, HTTP 4.1, and the root error remediation. So it's like a stack trace. It's like error code plus stack trace plus the remediation. And so let's take these two examples. So for this error, this is the current error we print out. Like we have like original error, and to be honest, it's hard to be like read for the users. And this is the new error format for this one. So now the message will be the config invalid plus like fail to create something, fail to pass, and the root and with the root cause like JSON cannot unmeasure number something. So this is the root cause actually. So this format is just for the logging stuff. When we report it in our like verification report, we will separate the detail, error reason, and remediation. So it will be not like a combination of the configure invalid code and the source details and the root cause. So, and also the second example, we only have 2 levels, like original error, and the inside error is very like clear to us, like the failed to find the plugin notation something. But we can see that we have a lot of maybe like unuseful information for the users. So it takes a bit of time to read. But for the new error message, so I think it's quite clear, like plugin not found, and the root cause is a failure to find the plugin location. So yeah, we remove a lot of like information, for example, the component type, and so like with the original field from our message. But as long as like in the next release, users does not like complain on the new error format, then we will keep this format and remove the source like component type. And also I remember we have like plugin name and other fields in the maybe next release. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Bin Bin. Yeah, E, do you have any feedback?
Yeah, I think one thing is that I'm not sure whether this PR will include all the error message improvements, because for the description of the error, we need to also review it.
No,
Because
yeah, that's good call. But yeah, assist PI is just addressing the fundamentals stuff for the nested errors. So for the detailed error messages for each error, so we will have maybe a few other PRs to address them.
yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I think we will see whether some description of error is not clear or intuitive, so we can improve them one by one.
Yes.
Another thing is for the original arrow structure. So the structure you showed is the structure in the code, right? It is not something that will be returned. I mean, if you can scroll up, yeah, this nested arrow example, this is just where will this structure be shown? Is this the logic of the code, or?
Yes, this is just a structure or the syntax of the nested arrow. So it's not printed anywhere.
Okay. And if original arrow will have another original arrow, it will be another structure inside our original arrow, right?
Yes, yeah, it's just one by one.
Okay.
So basically, I
Yeah.
think our previous implementation is just try to print out this like JSON, this error in JSON, but it's just one line. So something like this, it will be very difficult to read.
Yeah. I'm okay with this, and also the proposal is aligning with the improvement proposal, the PR that I created. Yeah, no other comments. It's just that when we start to improve specific errors, we will review the error description to make sure they are okay. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So once we have PRs on like description, I will just ping you so we can have discussion on that.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. Thank you. Okay, next one, the KMP issue. Think looks like Josh is not in the meeting, but I remember Josh posted a question in the Slack channel for the factory like design. I already replied in the Slack channel, so I think it should be blocked. Let's see if any updates. Oh, no updates yet. So we can like maybe we can follow up offline.
Just to check how far that I mean how much
For
time left
PR,
for this PR, yeah.
this PR, I think it's just missing the unit test for the controller or the reconciler. So it should be very soon to merge this PR, but just we'll have another PR for adding the like ETV test. So, but that's just a test stuff. It's not related to the code implementation.
Okay.
Okay. And before we move to the milestone cleanup, we can firstly discuss the TSA bump up scenarios. Oh, Junchen, you are here. So do you want to share the progress on the ETV test?
Oh yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So we have our based on the sync up loss this Tuesday. We have our end-to-end tests for the CLI ready for review. I will mark it as public available. Go ahead and ready for review. And just before I started, I have checked with Patrick and Junjie that the timeline of the release of the TSA buff will be mid of August, which means is in most good cases it will be like next week. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Shi Wei. That's the official bump. Yeah, please go ahead.
You mean the notation 1.2?
Yeah, notation
The
1.2,
the
the official
timestamping.
version.
Yeah. So we are targeting before KubeCon is before August 21. So currently we are working on the release candidate, and after that it will take 1 week. So based on the current status of Notary project, we may delay 1 week for the library. For the timestamping, sorry.
Okay, so like in the worst case, if we were heading like the end of August, right?
Yeah, during KubeCon or end of August. Yeah.
See, so I got that. That's it.
I think for 1.3, if we for example, if Notary project did not release the stable version, I think at least the released candidate will be secured. So I think from Ratify point of view, we can bump up version to the released candidate.
Got you. Yeah, so we're on track.
So for the RC from the RC to the official release, there will be no like breaking change. Is that correct?
Yes, and normally it will be just 1 week,
Okay.
unless there are something critical happened, for example, security issue or any critical bugs. There will be no code changes on the RC.
Okay, gotcha. And Junchen, so this PR is ready for review. Will you have another PR for the like Kubernetes scenario?
Yeah, I'm still working on the PR for the Kubernetes scenario. Previously, the test was applied to the Azure directly, and it turns out the back and forth test was so complicated, and we'll see if we can work out with a plan with the just Kubernetes testing environment rather than the Azure test environment for the heavy pass.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Now we can move on to the milestone. Let's see.
Sorry, Bimi, I have one question before we charge the issues. The question is about the comments that for the Ratify donation, there is one besides the best practice badge we just discussed. There is another comment of moving the vulnerability reporting to a maintenance mailing list. At least not through the Microsoft Security Response Center. I'm not sure whether this was addressed already. Let me copy the link and share in the chat. Yeah, scroll. Yeah, just this comment.
This one.
Scroll down a bit. Yeah, you see tag recommendation to the TOC. The first is performing attack security self-assessment. The second one is what I just mentioned, moving vulnerability reporting to a maintenance mailing list or using the GitHub reporting capabilities rather than going through the Microsoft Security Response Center. Akash, please.
Yeah, so if you scroll down a bit more, Binbin, I wrote a response. So just pass Feynman's, yep. So we did update our guidance as part of the repo move to now use the GitHub reporting tool. So that, I think, if I understand what the recommendation is, should cover that as well. But if you,
Okay.
Binbin, if you want to click on that link in the first bullet point.
No, this one, the
And
first
not that
bullet.
one, the first bullet point. Yep, that one.
Yeah, this is our security document. So reporting vulnerability, yeah. So how did they find this issue? Is this due to in the security document that we mentioned, Microsoft Security Center, or?
I think this was brought up during our tag security presentation, which back then I believe we might have still been pointing to the MSRC link.
Yeah,
So
I think
Okay.
we already removed like Microsoft link in our report.
yeah, and
Okay.
they did have one of them had one of the tag security chairs had a question about that in terms of why is it Microsoft the one that's getting the vulnerability reporting? So that's probably why they remembered that point and brought it up in the
Okay.
recommendation. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Thanks for me. Okay, now we can move to the Mastodon. First we go through this triage issue. This one I created after discussion with Susan. So currently we have two different versions of verification responses, and one for the config policy and another one for the legal policy. So basically these two versions of, let me, for example, yeah, so currently we have 0.1 and 1.0, two versions, and they are incompatible. So for the 0.1 is for the config policy and the 1.0 for the legal policy. So basically we need to maintain both of them before V2, Ratify V2, because we need to support both both policy engines. So as a long-term solution, I think we will need to consolidate our response versions. Probably we can all move to 1.0 or even 0.1, because actually we have 1.0 is just to have a separate a new version, but it doesn't mean like 1.0 is a better version for than 0.1. And so in the future, we would need to firstly we need to have a clarify the difference and check the scenarios for the two versions, and then we probably want to deprecate config policy. Or if we want to keep the config policy, then we need to refactor the current config policy engine to fix some existing bugs. So we used to have 3 bugs. Those are fixed by the legal policy, but not by the current config policies. So if we want to keep using the config policy, we need to fix them. And then we can probably use the same version of the response for both policy engines. And also in the future, we might want to add like a new policy engine. For example, we want to support like a CEL, and then so I think all the policy engines should use the same version, not one version for each policy engine. So that's a long-term plan, and I think I will move it to the future milestone because I don't think we will we will make it in short term. Future. Okay, so actually, I think most people are just left. Let's move to the milestone. Firstly, we go through 1.3. Since we just have 3 weeks before the release, so I don't think we will like complete all of them. So I will just move some of them to the next release. So first one for the repo migration guide. This one, oh gosh, let's go PQPO. Yeah, guys, do you know the context on this issue? Does that mean we just need to write a documentation for how to remove repo from like different organizations?
So yeah, I don't know exactly how much we want to document this. So we could the part that we probably are missing is pointing people to use the new Go packages, which are now going to be published under a different package domain. And the Helm chart issue, that's already been addressed by the bug that Susan opened up on the issues list. And switching, if you have a local fork of Ratify, then there isn't an issue in terms of it pointing to the correct organization. However, locally, you may need to change the upstream that you're pointing to, but I don't know if we need to provide that sort of guidance to the user. That's kind of maybe expected they would understand how to do that. That's just my,
Okay.
yeah. I don't know how much more than just documenting the package name move is required here. And honestly, maybe like we don't need a full-on repo migration guide. Maybe in 1.3, as a breaking change at the top, we add this as another action item.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So I think we keep it open, but move to the next release.
No, I think we just leave it for this release because we'll close it once we release this. We'll add it to the release notes, and then it should be done, right?
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll just keep it there.
Yep.
Milestone. Okay, next one. It's in progress, and the next one, improve error message. I'm working on that. And for this one, okay, so this is the multi-tenancy scenario. I remember we have 2 issues. So those are 2 remaining items for the multi-tenancy. But since the multi-tenancy is deprioritized, so I think I'll probably move both of them into the next milestone. And I will focus on the error message improvement for now. And another one. Next one, support for the TSA signature, and I think it's in progress. And once notation bump up their version, so we can just merge our PR as Junchen just posted. And generates bomb and provenance metadata. Akash, I think it's already done. Is that correct?
I need to break this issue up. I'll do this right after here, but we have SBOM and provenance metadata as Docker attestations for our binaries, but we don't have it for our images. So the image work would need to be in a separate issue.
Okay. But we will do that in next release, is that correct? Oh,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
hopefully in 1.4 we can add that as well as add the image signing for our release assets as well, once we've verified that the current verification flow for images is correct.
Okay, gotcha. So can you follow up on this?
Yes, I'll follow up on this one. Yep.
Yeah, thank you. Next one, code stack will include it. Oh, okay, this one, I think. Okay, I guess this one can be part of the error message improvement. So maybe I can work on that. Actually, I guess if you if you don't have time.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Next one, brief error message is too short. So I think, okay, this one. This is also part of the brief, the error message handling. So I believe we will make a lot of updates to our error messages because we have a lot of like different error messages. So it will be part of that, but I'm not sure if it will be completed in this milestone, but I will just keep it for now. And re-evaluate and okay. I remember you had another similar issue. So for this issue, it's trying to address the timeout impact. So and I remember you have another issue that described a lot of scenarios that we can see how we can meet the timeout issue, like from the remote registry or from the third revocation check, and even from the call sign. So I think we need to handle a lot of different scenarios of the like timeout. So probably I can close this one as duplicate because you already have another one. But I think we will complete it in the next release.
Yeah, I think maybe we can move to next release and mention this is a sub work item of that issue. I think that issue, the purpose is to for the overall from the solution that from top level to address the timeout, but there will be a specific issue we need to handle.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can move to 1.4 and keep open. Maybe add this link to that issue to mention we also have another issue tracking a specific issue related to cosine.
Yes, sure. Thank you. Next one, refactor the structure. Yeah, it will be closed soon once I merge the PR we just like demoed. And save errors from reconciling. This one I will work on this next. And migrate to the latest.
Yeah, this won't be done.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's blocked. Oh,
Yeah, this issue is blocked from a requirement from the SDK producers. So hopefully they will release a version soon that we then Ratify could migrate to, but I don't think it'll be in time for 1.3.
okay, gotcha.
yeah. I think we can first move to 1.4 based on the response from them. It will be probably Let me calculate. Maybe they still need 1 or 2 months. So I think during the time we are working on 1.4, we can check the status to see whether we should do it by ourselves or we just release it in time so that we can use it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Thank you for checking. Next one, switch name field to type. Okay. Okay, so I think we discussed it in the last meeting, but Jingchen, you are not in the meeting, so maybe you can follow up on this offline.
Oh, sure. 1285. Gotcha.
Last one, document how Ratify support third day to operation, including third location to add more docs. Oh, so it's thinking more about the documentation. Yeah, I think we can keep it for now. And if we have time, we can we can add the documentation. Otherwise, we can move to next milestone. Okay, so we have hearts complete, and for the error handling issues, we have a few of them. So most of them will be closed. And yeah, I think it should be it look good for now. And for the next milestone, since I think most people are not here, so I think we can do the like triage maybe in the next meeting. Cool. Yeah,
I
that's
think for
everything.
I think for error messages, Bingbing, you will have more PRs, right? So
Yes.
I think it is okay that we can first finish the fundamental one in 1.3 and do some improvements on specific error messages. For the rest, we can still work on it in 1.4.
Yeah, that's extend my plan. Okay, so we have everything on our agenda. Does anyone have any new topic want to discuss? Okay, cool. So we have 10 minutes left. Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, maybe.
Thank you, Binbin.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.